to go down. And welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I will be the host for the evening. I am Elemen2al. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Broadcasting live from Brooklyn, New York. Actually, the Bronx, my fault. From the Bronx, New York. Listen. It is so crazy and hazy in this space. Thankfully, it cleared up, but we're going to get this done this evening, y'all. It is crazy. But here we are, 167 weeks in, and we're going to keep on pushing. You know how we do every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and you would like to join us in the Zoom, the number is on your screen, 279-995-364. Come join us in the Zoom. Listen, it is a totally different world in here. Interact with the poets, join the community, come up with your own collab, because there's a couple coming this evening, y'all. Look, we do this week after week, 167, thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to newyourekan.org/contribute or by hitting the Cash App at $ New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Real, plug in with that cat. Also, make sure you are following the squad. Telling you, Storm Force is in the building, y'all. It's Ray James going down, Paul Conqueso. You will hear them later. Definitely, it's so many things going on, y'all. Make sure you are plugging in. Truly, it's going down. All right. Tonight's theme, roses are red, the color of passion. Today happens to be National Red Rose Day, right? But I would love to, beyond the obvious, right? Which I said last week, right? I'm pretty sure if I start with that line, roses are red, most people are gonna say, right. So it's usually that way, but I wanna know what you feel when you hear that term, right? What images of red do you feel, right? Do red roses signify love, right? So many people see colors in different ways, right? what does the color of passion tell you, right? Is red the color of passion for you, or is it something else, right? I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone conjures with their poetic license this evening. All right, y'all. Next week's theme coming at y'all. It's Juneteenth. Come on. Civil rights to life, right? We're going to talk about the importance of information here, right? We know what Juneteenth is about, right? The struggle that folks endured long after they needed to, right? But we want to talk about the importance of information, right? Of course, they used once before with all deliberate speed, right? Tell us about, having sentience, right? The right to breathe, the right to live in this space, right? To walk on what side of the street you want to, you know what I mean? The civil rights to life that we were all born with, right? So under the umbrella of Juneteenth, it is about the civil rights to life, all right? So I'm hoping that everybody comes through. Also, after this, right, which will be the last week in the month, here's the theme: Shades of Beauty, Contouring Confidence. And of course, it is Pride. Happy Pride Month to everyone. This is when we're going to do it, right? This happens to be National Esthetician Day, right? But we're talking about color, right? Contouring confidence, right? To be loud and proud and out and comfortable, right? So please bring all of it, all your pride, all of your beautiful, colorful glory, and let's talk about it. Let's rip on it the last Thursday of the month. All right. So let's get to these rules so we can get to the poetry. Yeah, we got some here, but hey, we got to get to it. Poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see the beautiful expression that you use when you're delivering your poetry. Plus, I love to see if you're gonna freak out your background. All right. Also, make sure you are changing your Zoom name to coincide with whatever social media you want people to connect with. Trust me, people get lazy sometimes. So make sure they can read it. Also, before or after you rip, put your information in the chat so people can follow. Trust me, this is the greatest community in the world. You definitely want to let people know how they can connect with you. All right. Poets, have your poem ready, all right? If you're going analog style, dog ear the page if necessary. If you're going digital, have the file easily accessible and ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, right? Love music, man. Make sure it's original. And if you're going to be playing original music, make sure you have on your original sound, all right? We want to make sure we get the instrument and the instrument that is your voice, all right? So be prepared. Original sound, original music. Let's get it, all right? Poets, you have 3 minutes to rock, all right? 3 minutes to rock and a 30-second intro, all right? Let the folks know where they can find you, what you have going on, what you have coming up, right? If you have features, if you have books, if you have interviews, let the community know, folks, so we can plug in, all right? This is what this community is for. I continue to say it's the greatest community in the world, so let us show you, all right? All right. We have reached night 30 for the babies because there are some explicit lyricists in our community, all right? They may come up with something that may be triggering, all right? And flashbacks, can be very heavy, all right? However, the founders of our cafe were very major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it flows through every vein of what we do. Therefore, there is no censorship other than any hatred or any ism that people might use to exploit people, which will not, I said not, be tolerated. There is no censorship. Thou hast been warned. I'm telling you, be prepared. This is truly a call and response space. After the poets get up here and rip open a part of their heart, their soul, and they leave it out there for you, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to unmute yourself and let everyone know that you're here. Give all that energy back to the poets, all right? All the energy you give to the poets, they're going to return to you in their poetic performance, all right? Don't worry about the noise. It's the writer's night of the week anyway. Let them know that you're here, all right? Share the energy because it goes around and again, goes to the poet and it comes back to you. All right. The list tonight is closed. Sign up begins 24 hours before the show, which would be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right. To sign up, you go to neweurekan.org. You click on full events calendar. You click on the Monday that you want to perform and you need an artist RSVP ticket. That's the only way that you can get on the guaranteed list. and they will not populate until 24 hours before the show. It's hot, y'all, so make sure you plug it in, set your alarms, it's going down. Also, going on in the brick and mortar, usually, not today, the slam hosted by the B, more to come from the B. Also, Supreme, again, not happening tonight, but Supreme's a beast. Wednesday, everything will be jumping back, popping like it's supposed to. The Wednesday night slam with J Rose. Make sure you pull up if you're in the area. Of course, Thunderlung Thursdays with the Queen Ray Jane. You know what it is. Make sure you're plugging in. Friday night slam with Jive. That dude's incredible. Woo! Also, the after Friday slam, right, with Chavez. Listen, it's so many things. Also coming up this weekend is Queer Say, hosted by our one and only Chief of Staff Nico Diaz. And after that, the Reconstructing Myself with Anthony Rodriguez, the one-man show. It is no doubt going to be incredible. All right, y'all. Tonight's list. Look at all these incredible poets. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Listen, this is the best night of the week. And we are going to show you why. There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. What's good, everybody? Happy Pride to all of you. Happy Pride to everyone under the sound of my voice. It is a great time to be alive, y'all. There's so many freedoms. Yes, there's so many restrictions still happening, but we live in a great time to be here. It is always my pleasure to share this time with y'all, and I'm looking forward to everything that y'all bring this evening. Again, broadcasting live from the Bronx, New York. This has been bananas. Let's get to this, y'all. Coming up first, and I believe we've only done this once, thanks to our usual leadoff hitter, AKA Books on Books, AKA the Beanie Goddess, the one and only Deadpan Lizzie is here to set us off this evening. Also, doing a collab with a very, very special member of our community, the one and only Marianne Teft is here. Are y'all ready for this? I don't know, but it's about to happen. It is so great to see you, poets. Please set it off this evening.
Thank you. Beanie blessings to you, RMT, Raging, our community, and happy Pride. It has been a beautiful Pride month so far. Beanie blessings to you, Marianne. How are you? Good. You ready to set it off?
Yes, I am. It's great to see you, Lizzie. Thank you so much for the opportunity for the collab. Good evening, Elemental and poet friends. We are on theme tonight. Roses are red, like the petals pressed between the pages of the Ferlinghetti we shared all those lazy afternoons. Roses are red, like steaming cups of sorrow brewed from hibiscus flowers that reminded you of home. Roses are red like the scarlet polish that always made us laugh. I'm not really a waitress. Roses are red like your cinnamon tongue before you learned to resist the whole package of Red Hots and kissing me. Roses are red like the soft underbelly of figs ripening in your grandfather's yard that September before you married the brunette they chose for you. Roses are red like pistachios whose shells desert them at the first sign of heat, staining fingers that embarrass anything they touch. Roses are red like the bloodshot furrows you dug from my seeping earth the last time we made what you called love. Roses are red on my nightstand, genuflected beside a Bloody Mary that tastes of rust, not the only Mary bloodied in the house. Roses are red on another woman's nightstand, tall and bright, in a vase of sugared water that believes love, like roses, blooms forever.
Roses are red like my bloodshot eyes that desperately need a break, but they are scared to ask for one. Roses are red like the angry threats of thunder, rain and lightning that hide in their hues in the sky. Roses are red like the rocks under my feet while I wander the beaches looking for sea glass to not match but escape into. Roses are red like root chakras, mine feeling grounded and are learning to flow back to my heart. Roses are red like cherry gummy bears. I prefer strawberry, but do not mind the tartness. Roses are red like my feet after ultra marathon training, not blood, but muscle showcasing strength. Roses are red like the top of a pen tennis baseball can, once taken out of the holder and bounced upon the clay courts. Crimson hues cover the green fuzz, match point. Roses are red like lipstick. It's not meant to be worn on everybody and should not be forced to feel like ornamentation. Roses are red like ruby slippers, fresh, but if I click my heels together, will the bad guys go away? Roses are red like Mars, my new city, because we have polluted our home, ourselves. Roses are red like sunburns, but I feel like I rub in the rays. I feel the vitamin D that I cannot get from red gummies. Roses are red like the first stripe on the rainbow pride flag, which means life, given LGBTQ queer people are a part of humanity. Roses are red like my birthstone ruby, my sun sign Cancer the crab, my poetry, my hue. But my flower used to be white rose, now lavender, which stems from purple, meaning red. Thank you, being blessings.
Thank you.
Lavender, which means red, stems from red. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Really? Okay, let's do it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Deadpan Lizzie and Marianne.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. So much fun to work with you, Marianne.
Thank
Can't wait to see you
you,
again. Thank you.
Marianne, Deadpan
Thank you.
Lizzie. Well done.
Thank you so much. It was really fun. Thank you.
That's great. We enjoyed it.
So many quotables. Thank you so very much, both of you incredible poets, for setting us off this evening. Marianne said, "Seeps like a steaming cups of sorrow." What that reminded you of home? What? like the belly of pigs, right? Red like pistachios. That really threw me off. But I love that, right? Playing with people's minds. She said, "Not the only married bloody in this house." Come on. And then Deadpan brings it up like, oh, like my bloodshot eyes, right? Like lipsticks, which should not be forced to feel like ornamentation. Really? Like, come on. Like the first color, the first stripe, the rainbow and the pride flag. Like, y'all are incredible. Y'all are incredible. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, y'all. The Starship is underway and we will continue dropping the rest of the list in the chat. Coming up next, and I see the faithful is right behind them as usual, so you know it's about to be incredible. This gentleman is one of the most incredible writers I know, happens to be a poet, happens to be one half of Pinky and the Jeff. The one and only Jeff Cottrell is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself, Jeff. It is always great to see you. Please, take it away.
All right. Well, I've been inspired to do this one, due partly to the theme and partly from the last one. So this is an alternative to traditional love poems, because nowadays it's kind of a risk to write a sincere love poem. If you do it wrong, it can come off as really creepy. So I wrote a poem about just liking somebody. It's called Like Poem. Some writers say words can't express their love. Well, I don't love you, I merely like you. And surely words are good enough for that. I like you. You're kind of neat to hang out with, but only in small doses, not a lot. You're a swell opponent for a game of Risk or Clue or Cards Against Humanity. I'd watch a movie with you. Nothing great, not Casablanca or The Seventh Seal, but maybe that last Matrix film, let's say. I'd never have sex with you. Nor would I go on a long trip with you, because I'd get quite sick of you after a day or two, but we know it would never come to that. Shall I compare thee to a plate of macaroni and cheese? I like mac and cheese. It's a nice lunch snack. It'll do when you just don't have time to bake. If you eat too much, you may get indigestion or dysentery or maybe even worms. That's more or less how I feel about you. How do I like thee? Let me count the ways. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 2. That sounds about right. 2. Like me mildly, like me bland, think I'm a-okay. Say hello and shake my hand and stay 6 feet away. Oh, my like is not a red, red rose, but more a short, stubby dandelion which gets chopped in the mower on a Saturday morning. Oh, my like is like a melody, but not one by Mozart or Tchaikovsky. More like a 1980s pop hit, catchy and sweet, yet vastly disposable, like something by Mr. Mister or Paul Young or Level 42 or DeBarge or Wang Chung. What, you don't remember them? Exactly. When a man likes a person, things still sort of carry on. He might bum a smoke or maybe lend $5 to you. If you're bad, he'll tend to notice, and then he'll stop liking you, turn his back on you, and delete you from social media. Love means never having to say you're sorry, but like means never having to say I love you. Roses are red, violets are blue. AstroTurf is a worthy practical substitute for the real thing, and so are you. Now, actually, I don't like AstroTurf. And come to think of it, I don't like you. No, you're annoying and you smell bad too. Go away.
Wow, we just experienced that together, y'all. Unmute yourself, give it up for Jeff Control.
Yeah, right on, Jeff.
That was so funny, Jeff.
The storytelling is
Always
never
entertaining.
hilarious. That's beautiful storytelling. Very witty.
Come on, man. Mac and cheese? Mac and cheese, man? Surely words are good enough for that, right? Cards Against Humanity? Come on, right? That's just a dope game, right? The last Matrix film, I haven't seen it, but seen all of them, the rest of them. Listen, he said not Mozart or Tchaikovsky, right? Which will definitely bring about the love vibes. Said when a man likes a woman. Come on, really? You're incredible, Jeff Cottrell. Like means never having to say I love you. At a point, man. Make sure you are plugging in with Jeff Cottrell. He has a novel. He finds himself on the radio being interviewed quite a bit. Boom, there it is. Make sure you are plugging into the one and only Jeff Cottrell. He is amazing. Thank you, Jeff. All right, coming up next. I love when this poet comes through and hangs out with us and shares their incredible poetry. I am hoping that things align and we get to hang out very soon. The one and only Mia Aguilera is here. Unmute yourself, Mia. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It's so exciting that you're here in New York. You can find me on Instagram at Mia Sochi. I'll put it in the chat. I have one very short poem today, and it is called Farmer's Market. She carries a bunch of carrots, some leeks, a bouquet of red roses. Tendrils of hair escape her bun and cling to her damp neck. Upward sloping breasts in a white tank top, plainly visible. I am struck dumb as the closed bud of a zucchini flower, waiting for morning light to hit, when I will stay open for only a few hours. Thank you.
You know what? Even if it is a few hours, we are glad that we get to experience it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mia Aguilera.
Yeah,
Nice,
Mia.
Mia. I always love your work.
Definitely drawn.
Like the way you just described that was so vivid. It's powerful images.
Okay, Zonkonto 100%. Coming back at you, Mia, real quick. You mentioned a lot of vegetable flowers. I love that. Tell me how the vegetables got involved with the roses.
I work in Union Square, and like 4 days a week, there's a farmer's market, and I usually walk through it before I go to work. And they sell a lot of vegetables. And my friend was telling me how, like, obviously zucchini, you eat the vegetable, but you can also fry the flowers like as food. And so we were talking about that. And I was like, oh, okay, I think, and they mentioned that the flower opens in the morning, but then it closes very quick after that. And I was like, that's very interesting that you can only see it open for a short period of time. And I was just thinking about other things you can buy at the flowers market. And I saw a woman, and she was originally holding sweet peas. And roses aren't really actually sold that often at farmers markets, but because of the theme, I switched that line to roses, or that word to roses.
Thank you, Mia. Listen, this it just reminds me of the commercial, right? Everything I think I see just becomes poetry to me. Thank you, Mia. Incredible story how just life becomes poem. Thank you for sharing that with us, Mia. Whew. All right, y'all, let's keep it going. Coming up next, oh, this incredible poet continues to come through, whether it's with one-word poems, her expression is always on point. She has so much energy, and I love when she is here. The one and only Marilee Johnson, y'all. She is about to come and rock this stage. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Marilee. Take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. It's always great to be here. I have a few short things I'm kind of performance. And I do want to wish happy Pride to everyone this month. So I'm going to start out with a few pankus. Sometimes just changing a light bulb feels like self-care. If roses can bloom on barbed wire, there's hope. Fresh garden peas, milk straight from the cow, Great Aunt's farm. I have a haiku. Dad's last summer, I gave a t-shirt too late. Now I wear it. Go Hawks. And I've been experimenting with 6-word stories, some contests, and that's one of the forms they're judging on. So they gave an example of a Hemingway poem. Let's see if I can do this right. For sale, baby shoes, never worn, which is like 6 words just pound you in the gut. So I'm not saying these live up to that. This is my experimenting. He asked, I answered, no marriage. Shattered mirror, paper goodbyes, prescription hope. Snake escape zoo, avid Facebook followers. Foot chase, I want those sneakers. Crumbling attention, poet's empty mic. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Marilee Johnson.
Marilee!
Love the work and love the pictures.
Thank
That's
you.
quite a skill. I think I'll try that. That's quite a skill. Wow. That's
Right,
beautiful.
Zonkonto, right? Listen, I love when poets come to the mic so very modest, right? It's like, I don't know about this, but I got some panku. I got some 6-word stories, and they all drop. They just all land right at the same time. Come on, right? Like, I don't know, maybe for sale, baby shoes, never worn, right? Foot chase, I want those sneakers. But the one that got me, he asked, I answered, no marriage. Damn it. Ooh. Thank you, Marilee. See, this is why I introduce people the way I do, right? Because they come through and they bless us like that. Thank you, Marilee, for being a valued member of our community. I told y'all we are underway, and it is continuing to heat up. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, I'm saying, look, this poet has come back and is writing with such a reckless abandon, but the pen is sharper and sharper, showing up, in the slam scene, just moving around and shaking. Trust this poet is going to continue to do it. The one and only Poetic Desire is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you and all the things that you're doing. Take it away.
Thank you. Yes, Poetic Desire with a K, Facebook and Instagram. I'm just getting back out there online, in person, seeing what's out there and trying new things along the way. So yes, you saw my slam was the first time I ever tried that. Will there be more? We'll see. It's not that easy. All right. So 2 new poems for today. First, let's start with a random Roses is Red little poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm blooming with passions of a poet's pen. How about you? All right. So this first one, I wrote it as a sonnet in iambic pentameter, and it's called Roses of Passion Red. The color of her passion blooms deep red. Crimson petals flourish, budding lovers. Hearts shall open wide with love enveloped, the slow unveiling of connection stirred. Breathe in delicacies of beauty shown, cultivating fragrant tokens inhaled, the depths of which are felt more once it's shown, expressions of emotions are exhaled. Ruby red of timeless beauty needs care, behold cherished remnants that have been plucked. Never wither, please stay if you can dare, protect love even through her thorned construct. Roses can communicate what's unheard, reveals passion truths without use of words. And then my last one is a villanelle that I just wrote before we hopped on and finished. It was not easy. I guess we'll call it Passion. As red as passion that's all consuming, I'm flushed with blushing emotions of one single hue. My heart's on fire with deep love and desire looming. Hot rush of boiling blood of carnal temperatures rising, I shall wear deviled horns as my love sinfully burns for you, as red as passion that's all consuming. Amorous inferno of flaming fantasy so tantalizingly arousing has me stealing affections of tender kisses and caresses to pursue. My heart's on fire with deep love and desire looming. These red hots of thoughts I taste of its rapturous spicing, a need to have you these hungered cravings grew, as red as passion that's all consuming. Pour into me sips of red wine's lustful colors swirling, intoxications leaving me drunk off heat of love's seductive residue. My heart's on fire with deep love and desire looming. Wild love was connected in fiery embers of feverish yearning. Our sultry stained hearts bleed of love's etched tattoo. As red as passion that's all consuming, our hearts on fire with deep love and desire looming. Good night.
Telling you, the pen stays sharp around these parts. Unmute yourself, give it up for Poetic Desire.
Oh yeah,
Nice
Poetic
work,
Desire.
Easter.
Queen, that was so good.
That was amazing. Such beautiful writing.
Listen, if I didn't know that we were in a Zoom, I might think that we were in some kind of Shaolin temple with all these damn styles coming out. For real, it's style after style in these parts this evening, right? That was iambic pentameter. She mentioned villanelle with all the new shit too, right? Blooming with the passion of a poet's pen. How about you? Come on, man, for real. Expression of emotions are exhaled. I mean, filled with blushing emotion, right? Red is passion that's all consuming. Red hots of thoughts. Come on. Make sure you are plugging in with Poetic Desire. They are on the move and making things happen. Appreciate you, East. Coming up next, this gentleman runs his own open mic on Tuesdays. I believe Time to Arrive. Listen, again, I've always seen this next poet as the person who just gave me kind of poetic license to say whatever the hell I want, because the first time I heard this dude, it was just like, oh shit. Like, poets can say that shit? Yeah, he did that. And he may do it again. I don't know. The one and only Dane Ince is in the building, y'all. Prepare yourself. Please unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, Dane. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Yes. Thank you. Great to be here. Let me see. Can I see that if I do that? Yes. All right. Yeah, I have a brand new piece and it's inspired by a poet in the room. It's called Words. The abuse of the colonial diatribe and linguistic manipulation of the semiotic coyote presents the antithesis of anagrams of dream shards of words flowing river-like from silent mouths. Confrontation is a concept that has been used and abused by pseudoscientists who claim to have access to the depths of the human psyche, long considered hidden. They pretend to reveal secrets of our ancestral memories, our primal instincts, or archetypes subsumed by organic regime, but in reality, they are only projecting their own fantasies and prejudices onto the vague and ambiguous symbols that populate our dreams and imaginations. They are colonizers of the first order, with tertiary reveries that intersect the ambidextrous convolution where time is a function of exponential sheet ripples across frozen inertial gyros, fit under the curve, which can be wicked and smooth with hydrogenated oleaginous penetrates. One such example is the so-called dream dialectic, with voodoo mystics sneered at by the liminal criminally challenged. The colonial accusation always is that the colonized are actually self-colonizers and self-victimized. This is a fraudulent and dangerous practice that involves a trance state, trance state, trance state, state, trance, trance state, state, trance, trance, trance state. The peyote bitter button is ventilated menthol with a datura chaser. Anyone thirsty? Have to pee? These are the anticipated side effects in the unsuspecting subjects, and manipulating them with suggestive words and images. The claim is that it is to be able to communicate with the spirits of the dead and the forces of nature, while the semiotic coyote acts as a trickster and a mediator between conscious and unconscious realms. Together, they create a false sense of reality that distorts the subject's perception and identity, or, as Morris P. Brain maintains, we have no idea where we came from, but disruption is the goal. What is described here is false. The voodoo mystic lives in the realm of natural phenomena that offer unity, or, as some mystics prefer to say, bliss. The dream dialectic is nothing but a form of psychological colonization, exploits the vulnerability and ignorance of the people who fall for it. It is a way of imposing a foreign and oppressive worldview onto the minds, erasing their culture and personal differences, reducing them to passive and obedient followers. It is a violation of their autonomy and dignity, and a threat to their mental health and well-being. A sign is something that stands for something else. A set is a collection of things that have some common property. In mathematics, sets have certain properties that can be expressed using symbols and formula. Sets also can be used to express or represent collections of signs that share some common feature or function. For example, the set of icons is the collection of all signs that resemble what they stand for, such as photography or drawings. The set of indexes is a collection of all the signs that casually or causally or physically are connected to what they stand for, such as smoke or footprints. The set of symbols, is a collection of all signs that are arbitrary and conveniently associated with each other and what they stand for, such as words. Thank you.
He started with words and ended with words. Damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dane Eads.
Yeah,
All right,
Dane.
poet.
I love your work, Dane. It's beautiful.
Made me want a time taco.
Ambidextrous convolution.
Oh, right, Zonkoto. Listen, I can see now there is some sort of consortium building here with these blacksmiths and this incredible penmanship, right? Listen, these Bardos of the listen, you cats, you cats, y'all keep doing this thing, man. Like we need these brain cells. Please keep that in mind. But y'all keep bringing it every single time, right? Symbiotic antithesis, right? Who, like Mr. Ted said, who doesn't like symbiotic coyotes, right? False sense of reality, pseudo colonization. Come on, man. Only to make them passive and obedient followers, erasing their culture. Collection of signs, right? A set of indexes, a set. He went mathematical to come back at you to grammatically tell you that it's about words from beginning to end. Damn it, Dane. Make sure you're plugging into Time to Arrive and Dane Ince. That cat's incredible. He also has his own publishing company. So plug in with Dane. Coming up next, the OG is in the building. The only Jedi Master I know in this galaxy is here. And he's about to do that thing with the words like Dane just said. The one and only Paul Skiff is in the building. It is always great to see you, Jedi Master. Please take it away.
Hey, hello, everybody. Thanks for being here again. Thanks, Elemental and RMT. I'm not on theme. It's just about the 33rd anniversary of this poem coming out of this book. So I'm going to do an abridged version of this poem. The title is June 15th, 1990. Tiempo que morder culo, mamonas. Oh, lo siento, tiempo experimentar cielo, mis ángeles. Pounded onto the door of my building. Quien habla por los niños? I wanted to come out and play, but I have to go to the grocery store because the price of beans has doubled in a year. What's the most confusing day in Harlem? What do spaghetti and women have in common? What do you get when you cross a Mexican and an Italian? Why was the gay fired from the sperm bank? Did you hear about the Polish lesbian? Why are Jewish men circumcised? Why did God invent women? Yeah, well, what do you get when you cross government with the internet? Why is free world just a market term that means get it while you can? What do you get when you cross sex with public discussion? What do you get when you cross justice with a bank account? Why do Hollywood and Disneyland want to be seen as major industrial sites? Why do rich people think that if they get together at a party, eat roast beef, drink champagne, dance, and pay money to a charity, then they will not have to really do anything about poverty and disease? Why do Republicans and Democrats spend money and lie to each other while the right wing throws bombs at women's health clinics and decimates cultures to show that government is not in power? Why is the only punishment for original sin this fucking government? Why have inalienable rights moved from the 7th to the 8th planet from the sun? Why do famous babies have no names? They are just descriptions of the end. Beat by mother, stabbed by father, fallen out the 13th floor, starved and deprived of sunlight, stolen, dumped in the trash, born high on freebase, sold. How come there can still be lynchings by a bullet or a knee on a neck 400 years after it's supposed to all be over, and it's done in plain sight? I wanted to come out and stand in the crowd on Astor Place and block traffic so a mad flash of the youth could pump his skateboard fast enough to hurl himself over 4 trash cans. I want to hear the smeared clack of the wheels. I want to see him in mid-air, knees up to his ears. I want to hear the voices jeer, coax, and scream as his legs unravel past the 4th can and rip the waiting skateboard from stillness. I want to catch the 3-year-old who's bumbling up 3rd Street wrapped in heavy coils of Christmas Christmas lights that turn him into a tiny constellation, a zodiac of untied sneakers, scratched knees, and 115 volts. Neon Nino, skin twinkling, tiny, fragile, courageous, festival of minuscule ignition, celebrating, unguided, and wordless. I wanted to see the grease-caked men edge out of the trash hauler's garage that is right next to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, to have their faces stretched by the girl who is dancing up 3rd Street wearing only a man's jacket. I want to hear her laughter split the street. I want to hear her singing, drain the weight from every stone. I want to see her steal those trash hauling men's shadows. I want her smile. I wanted to come out to play, but they are closing down the New Eurekan Poets Cafe because the city government says they are required to put in a second toilet. Yeah, right. You can keep this entire neighborhood underserviced and then shut us down for it. Put in my mailbox. Planifiquemos juntos para luchar contra el abuso del casero y el desplazamiento y poder defender nuestro vecindario para la gente que vivimos aquí. Yeah. That's what happens when language has a landlord. That's right, America. The joke's on you, and laughing at yourself is a step in the right direction, but only if you feel chastened. You can fight over whose future the future will be. You can fight over it. We're the future. We're the future. No, we're the future. Teach me quality. Teach me hate for violence. Teach me how to recognize my own hunger. If you don't, I won't hear the clever words of any more of your lessons. I don't know about all that future stuff. You can close the New Eurekan Poets Cafe down because of some code thing, but I know we are free because this whole fucking rest of the world is still unfinished.
Yeah, damn. Unmute yourself, give it up for the Jedi Master.
Yeah.
Always amazing, Paul.
Yeah.
Always.
Wow.
Woo!
So much was said. So much
that
was
was hot.
said. Wow.
Hotness.
That
Breathe,
that was
y'all.
intense.
Breathe, y'all. Yikes. Yikes. Look, and then look. Let me make sure I let it be known, Jedi Master, I am in New York City and I will not leave until we connect. Listen, the way that he rips his poem, he said that's nearly 30 years old, right? June 15th, 1990, is that correct, Jedi Master? See, listen, again, longer than some folks have been alive, longer than some folks have been doing poetry, and doing it at an incredibly high level. Even then, right? Like, Republicans and Democrats spend money and lie to each other. Government is not in power. Why do baby actors do not have names? They're just description of the end. What? Right? The little boy, a Zodiac in untied sneakers, right? Neon Nino? Really? Really? the entire neighborhood, right? Shut down the cafe for a damn toilet. Are you kidding? I've been down that street. You know how many toilets they go from one end of the block to the other? It's called a sidewalk for some people. Come on. Like, you know, like, come on. Like, whose future the future will be? Whose future is it, right? Damn. Appreciate you, Jedi Master. That dude, again, the OG of our community, got more claim to this thing than I'll ever have. And again, the only one I know in that anthology in our community. Thank you for continuing to hang out with us and doing it at a high level. We truly, truly appreciate you. All right, let's shout out some folks before we move on. This evening, unfortunately, Black Swan will not be able to join us. And so we are sending healing vibes to them. Truly appreciate them. Hopefully we'll be able to hear them again soon. Shout out Professor Platinum in the building. Doug Silver is here. Mr. Speaker in the building. Shout out 757 Graybeards in the house. Who else did I see? Graylin Counts. Appreciate you for coming through. Principe, I see you hanging out. Know that cat from Open Minds. Appreciate you. I did see Marsha Rivera, Miss Brimlow herself was in the building. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Storm Gods in the building. You know, it is Storm Force season. We are going crazy around these parts, y'all. Be on the lookout for things to come. Woo, woo. All right, let's get back to this. Coming up next. Listen, I just set it up so the fireman could take it on the rest of the way. Coming up next is the one and only Fireman. Fire for Fireman. Always ready with a rhyme in his hand. And then he has the nerve to dance it on his tongue. The one and only Ed Poetastic is in the building, y'all. Unmute yourself, Eddie. Let the folks know where they can find you online, man. Always great to see you. Take it away.
Oh, thank you, my bro, like no other, with words like thunder. Woo, you always born us right under. You want to follow me? Please feel free. You can find it in the chat. So there is that Godfather quote. Every time I thought it was out, they pull me back in. Who am I kidding? Nurik is a lover and a friend. You can hear the poetry transcend over again. Now let the river roses transcend. This is called Scarlet Oasis. Steamy clouds emit from the water as raw passion explodes from eternal love for each other. The deep scorching desires while igniting the texture of their flesh on fire. Deep breaths of moanings and groans in the air, engulfing echoes of a seductive affair, quickly losing their sense of place and time while grinding between their naked behinds. Lips melting on flesh hotter than lava, as a lust lock with lustful embrace, while everything is hot, scattered, and out of place. The burning stares between their eyes while coming closer to their blazing surprise. Their wet, hardened bodies trying to reach the solar lining while capriciously combining. The blazing wind rushing throughout while a rampant volcano shouts. They dive deeper and deeper to put out their lustful flame, but their minds were consumed by a passion to unleash a new definite satisfaction. The salty embers rain down their flesh while the jolts fuel their feisty mess. They dance nonstop to an instinctive tune while engulfing a blazing typhoon. Their bodily melody of a sublime taboo while their lustful flame quickly grew. Their juices spraying through the air while they remain animalistic and unaware. The lustful embers killing their skin while they dance without a frigid end. The waves of earthquake shake their wet bodies open with their souls transcend, quickly penetrating to subdue their inner raging beast while thrusting higher for majestic release, their bodies sending waves of earthquakes to keep their lustful desires awake. The thirsty mouths hunger for more while they keep banging on each other's door, and bumpy rhythm of blazing echoes while pleasure comes in a billion crimson arrows. The roars of pleasurable screams while tasting the sweetness of each other's cream. The masses steam clear while their bodies are naked without fear. Their orange spotlight draws near while their energy disappears. Thank you.
I warned y'all about that heat, and this is the cat that brings it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Former.
Yeah,
Eddie. Love you all. Woo!
Yeah, Eddie, listen, that dude, again, that dude continues to just like I don't know. Maybe if he was a mutant, he would be Pyro. I don't know. That dude keeps the flame on his fingertips, man. For real. Listen, even with the lustful embers that he's talking about, right? Engulfed in a blazing typhoon, right? Come on, man. Roars of pleasurable screams, man. I hope you ain't got no neighbors with all them roars, homie. Because you're gonna have some problems. Appreciate you, Eddie, for always coming to bring the heat. All right. Coming up next, the Magus is in the building. This gentleman, listen, this gentleman, whether he's doing a collab with somebody or delighting us in a song or speaking French, this multifaceted poet continues to come through with all the gusto. The one and only Gustav Solace is here, y'all. Unmute yourself, Gustav. Let the folks know where they can find you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Hello, RMT and beloved poets. You can find me on IG at MAGUS801. Give me a follow. Let's start some good trouble. My friends, Astrid Gilberto, the singer of The Girl from Ipanema, died last week. This goes out to her. This is called The Guy from Mar-a-Lago. Old and treasonous and fat and orange, the guy from Mar-a-Lago gets busted, and when he's busted, each MAGA head goes. When he's busted, people do the samba. They swing so cool and sway so gently that when he's busted, each MAGA head goes. Oh, but Trump watches so sadly. How can they indict him so badly? Yes, he'd give his heart so gladly, but he stole top secret documents madly. He does nothing straight or honestly, but he shouldn't be free. No, he shouldn't be free. He shouldn't be free. No, he shouldn't be free. No, he shouldn't be free. And this piece is called I Am. I am the groove messiah. I am the burning man. I am the fire. I am the spear in the side of Christ. I am the gangbanger I just iced. I am the divine in my comedy. I am the illest, my own remedy. I am the melody behind my beat. I am the shoes upon my feet. I am the codons of my DNA. I am the word that made me today. I am you as you are me. I am unchained as we all are, free. Thank you. Cheers.
Unchained as we all are, free and damn it. Unmute yourself, give it up for Gustav Solace.
The Groove Messiah.
Great. I love that MAGA one especially.
That is amazing.
So good.
Messiah, really? Really? Okay. Oh, man. The guy from Mar-a-Lago. Each MAGA head go, yeah, man. Like for real, invasion of the body snatchers around here, right? He said, I'm the groove messiah, the burning man. I'm the illest. My own remedy. Come on, man. I'm the illest. The word that made me today. God damn it, he said, I'm the illest. Woo! What do you say? What is it? Something, I can't remember it. Hospitalize a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick. That's an Ali term, Ali quote. Thank you, Gustav. That was hot. Both of those pieces, right? And I love how you flipped it, right? You took the melody, and man, again, I love poets. And you just happen to be rocking with the greatest community in the world on the hypest night of the week. Let's continue. Coming up next, our resident superhero. This next poet, damn it, that damn Gustav boy. This next poet always makes space and room for others, continues to make ways and spaces as the one and only daughter of Krypton. Make sure you are plugging in with everything Fincabulary does. The one and only Finn Bell is in the building. Unmute yourself. It is always great to see you. Please.
Always good to see you. Thank you so much, Elemental and RMT and the Queen Raging, wherever you are. And Paul, of course, just because. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to share a cover poem and then original poem, and they're both short, so they should fit in. So the cover poem is by T.C. Tolbert, What Space Faith Can Occupy. I believe that witness is a magnitude of vulnerability, that when I say love, what I mean is not feeling nor promise of a feeling. I believe in attention. My love for you is a monolith of try. The woman I love pays an inordinate amount of attention to large and small objects. She is not described by anything because I could not mean anything else. She knows exactly what I mean. Once upon a time, a line saw itself clear to its end. I have seen the shape of my happiness. Y equals mx plus b. I'm holding it. It is your hand. And then, so I had quite a bit of trouble, surprisingly, trying to find something that would fit into Red is the Color of Passion, or Roses Are Red. I even had trouble thinking of Pink and Infatuation. I think what I was seeking more was an oxygenated love, a blue and a red, a purple love. So a little bit of caution, this poem may have some subtle subliminal ideology of suicide. So just bear with me. This is called Monday, 8 May 2023. Oh, the title is Storm Cloud. Hello, it's been a while. Or perhaps time becomes irrelevant. In my mind at times you come, newly turned soil fresh. Yesterday, a minute ago, last month, slices open, healing wounds. Bloom roses in a red too bright for your moody weather eyes. They shine, and the world watches for a moment, invested in the brilliant display. My skin soaks up the color. The world grows disinterested. Grief is the oldest story ever. The compassion in ear cotton batting, a dull buzz boredom. Today, the sun hides his face, not ready, never on time. Still, I look through the lattice of tree limbs for answers, voices gone mute. A lone squirrel, tail too new to be more than a baby bottle brush, flirts with the image of my upturned face, flirts with this new life, flirts with the rotting branches, tests dedication and death, doesn't know the rot that begins its faithful work from birth, doesn't know the leaves falling, black and white silent film, jerky, slow, fast, slow, fast, open, shut, open, shut. Snow blankets our mind in the coming season, numbs the dull ache, kills the persistence of sorrow. Rebirth promised. Those of us left behind to live, pray to remain in the sanctity of dark. To live, to live. What a mockery of words. Who of us is still truly living? Who of us doesn't already burrow torso deep in the ground's obliteration, bliss? Camera obscura existence, pinpoint light happy. This is the blackened heart. This is the deceitful feather. Misery, the ecstatic burden, our toil, our penance. Is the distance to death the same as away from life? I bloom roses in a red too bright. Your storm cloud eyes, unseeing. Thank you.
Down, unmute yourself, give it up for Finn Bell.
Beautiful, Finn. Wonderful.
Is the
so
distance to
beautiful.
death the same as away from life? Ooh.
I mean, I had to listen, and I apologize for the delay right there. But I had to make sure I got that line all the way out Listen, she's the last line. I bloom roses in a red too bright. In a red too bright. What I mean is not feeling in her first poem, right? My love for you is a monolith of try. That's pretty heavy, extreme at that. And then you happen to intersect it with the slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Come on. Again, Dane did a little while ago. You're mixing mathematics and poetry. Shout out, Norm. Listen, my skin soaks up the color and the world is less interested, right? Like snow blankets our minds, right? Kills the persistence of sorrow. Like, listen, you are amazing. And again, make sure you are plugging in with vocabulary. They continue to make space and make room for people and then happen to be a superhero. Thank you for always coming through and sharing your work with us. And then having a voice like that. Come on. All right. Coming up next. Listen. I truly hope that you got your rest, right? You got your medulla strapped on tight. Because this man, he does this thing where he oblongacha, right? Time for our Tez Talk, ladies and gentlemen. The one and only Mr. Teza Somok is here. Unmute yourself, Mr. Tez. Let the folks know where they can find you. Please take it away.
All right, folks can catch me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. I have something to jump in. I got to get it out. So here we go. I'm not on theme. The traumatic kernel that resists symbolization. Have you always wanted to be the center of attention? Suck all the available pity air in the room. Be the ultimate contestant in a status contest in which your behavior serves to drive your relative social status up or down. You may be ready to unleash your inner voice as a trauma porn poet. If you've always felt drawn to explore the raw, unsettling aspect of human existence, then this is your chance to become a master of the art form that pushes boundaries, evokes intense emotions. At the heart lies a traumatic kernel, a visceral essence that refuses to be defined by words or symbol. It's a heaviness that weighs down on the mind, a gnawing pain that creeps up and threatens to consume. This is your traumatic kernel that resists symbolization. In storytelling, your story engine refers to the core idea or concept that drives the narrative forward. A strong engine can inspire a writer to create multiple works based on the same concept, characters, and world-building elements. In our most dominant culture that coerces exuberant positivity and markets Pollyannaism and excessive or unrealistic optimism, for your traumatic kernel may strategically be misrepresented as the pursuit of happiness. Happiness is an ambiguous concept with complex implications. The impulses you should be basically satisfied, but not so overtly. The impenetrable kernel as a limitation, the occasional reminder makes you appreciate the pursuit of happiness more. Delve into the depths of the human psyche, unearth the hidden traumas, unspeakable desires that reside within. With each word you write, you have the power to create a visceral experience for your readers, captivating them with your ability to expose the darkest corners of human experience. This is not just poetry. It's an invitation to adventure into the realms of discomfort and catharsis, where the line between pleasure and pain blurs. The story engines as a pursuit of happiness requires the absence of a serious autonomy. If the poet experiences themselves as the ultimate decision maker in their lives, they tend to worry too much. Instead, having someone or something to blame for everything like a political authority, a panoptic parents, or a protracted propo, the dastardly designs moors can make it life easier. The traumatic kernel is fully uncovered, may disrupt the sense of comfort, the ease that comes from attributing blame to the external actors' factors. What the story engine offers is the image of paradise, a place where things are good, but not easily accessible. Trauma is too overwhelming for our minds to process and make sense of. So why we rely on storytelling as a way to construct a narrative around our experiences and give them meaning. The traumatic kernel of trauma is too painful to fully process, often remains elusive and resist our attempts at symbolization. In the tale of Mother Goose, the goose is no longer simply a harmless animal, but the traumatic kernel that resists symbolization. The eggs, the prized darlings of pursuit, have become ego rewards in pursuit of the kernel. In Dorothy and the Wizard, the question arises, what if? One word to finally reach the elusive core. What if, against all odds, the depths of the traumatic kernel were fully uncovered and laid bare? Dear poets, threading such treacherous ground demands our utmost vigilance. The traumatic kernel is not a realm of clarity and resolution, but a realm of intricate complexity where enormous intertwine and truths collide. Emotions are intertwined and truths collide. We must, as Arthur Quiller Couch implore, murder our darlings, relinquish cherished illusions, dismantle ego preconceptions, and embrace discomfort from within this sacrificial act. The sublime autonomous murder lies the key of enlightening. Become a conduit for the unspoken stories that linger in the shadows, giving voice to the silence and marginalized through your evocative verses. You have the opportunity to shine a light on the complexities of trauma, challenging societal norms, offering solace to those who resonate with your words. Embrace the power of language as you navigate the uncharted territories of human suffering, weaving intricate tapestry of pain and resilience. So, are you ready to embrace your calling as a trauma-porn poet? The world is waiting to hear your voice. Will you rise to the challenge?
Damn. Yes, he did that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Mr. Tesasomo.
Always great, Tess.
Oh,
Yeah, Tess.
That was so powerful and deeply provocative. Nice.
Listen, like, come on. Come on, Mr. And I tried to warn y'all, right? Make sure it was strapped on tight, right? Because tonight we were in pursuit of the kernel, right? Trauma porn poets. Damn. You know, Mr. Tez, for a while, I thought that was just kind of like an unspoken thing, right? Kind of like a backroom term. You know what I mean? First rule about trauma porn is you don't talk about trauma porn poetry. So thank you for even letting people know that that's a thing, right? It's not just poetry. It's an invitation, right? It's an invitation. It will take our utmost vigilance, right? Reclaim of intricate complexities, man. Be a conduit of unspoken stories. And that is so much of who you are, Mr. Tess. You speak for so many generations. Every time you come here, whether it's, your stories or you just channel so much of your ancestors, Mr. Tess, and thank you for sharing it with us. Truly, truly. We appreciate you, Mr. Tess. All right, before we move on, I am going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. You're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, how you feeling this evening?
Okay, thank you so much. Feeling great. What a wonderful theme. Roses are red. It's great to hear all the wonderful poems and two collaborations, which I think you hinted at earlier, that it's not only one, but two collaborations today. So I'm looking forward to the second one. I love it. I love it. So, hello everyone. My name is Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. I'm the tech assistant for both the Monday and Thursday online open mics, and for some of the other online programs that we do here at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. I also work in person at the cafe on 3rd Street in Manhattan on the Lower East Side, on the tech end at many of the weekly and monthly shows, and I help out with some of the other projects in the back end. I want to thank everyone who made it to our executive director La Brua's one-woman show, the stage play from Puerto Rico last Thursday. It was powerful. It was amazing. She did a great job. We thank everyone who came to see her there. Hopefully, we can do it again. Obviously, we will be closing the cafe later this year to do a 3-year reconstruction, which will include adding an elevator and more workshop rooms, more stages, so we can accommodate even more from the community. But don't worry, we're going to continue the online open mics, to make sure that everyone here will still be able to rock with us twice a week. Also, everyone, thank you who made it to the National Puerto Rican Day Parade in Manhattan, New York City yesterday on 5th Avenue. Our entire team and many of our performers were able to march with us, and for the first time we did have a float as well, and oh my god, so much great energy, so much fun, so much poetry. It was just amazing. And not only did we have our Thursday host Ray Jane there, our Voices and Vibes and workshop host Paul Concasso, exactly, even Elemen2al, yes, he is actually in New York City. He wasn't kidding. He is in the Bronx. He's not very far from where I am right now. So guys, if you want to meet up with him in person, he's going to try to come to some of the shows in the cafe, but reach out to him on his social media, let him know, hey, Elemen2al, I want to see you in person in New York. He's going to be here for another few days, so please, come and see him. That would be amazing. All right, let me get the slides up here. So in case you missed the national Puerto Rican Day Parade yesterday, if you follow our executive director or our La Brua or our chief of staff Nico Diaz, you will be able to see many of the pictures that they posted. I know Paul and Elemen2al also posted photos on their social media. You see all the links here, La Brua's, Nico's, as well as the New Eureka Poets Cafe's website, social media links. If you go to Linktree, you see all of the links. You can contribute and donate to us, and there you will also see our regular programming, with the exception of today, where the on-site programs unfortunately had to be cancelled. We will be back this Wednesday for our regular weekly programs, and if you have followed us and have been in New York, you know that currently we have 3 poetry slam every week, 3 open mics every week. So what else do we have? We have Voices and Vibes, which I'm going to get to in just a second. We do have a salsa jam every month. We have a dance competition every month. So again, we have our regular programs. Just follow us on social media, so that way you will be able to see everything. Unfortunately, I have to give you news that Voices and Vibes, which was scheduled for this Friday at 6 p.m., had to be cancelled due to a conflict in the schedule. I'm gonna, if Paul is up to that after the next performer, I'm gonna have him unmuted so he can briefly tell us about that and an event that he actually is hosting in Newark a week from now. But I believe Voices and Vibes will be back 2 weeks from now. Paul will give you more information in just a few minutes. But let me point out some of the other programs coming up this month. The LGBTQIA plus open mic, we started it last month, and Nico Diaz, who is both curating and hosting it, has confirmed reconfirmed this is now one of our new monthly programs. There is no specific, every so-and-so day of the month set yet, but this month it happens to be this coming Saturday, June 17th, 6 p.m. He is hosting as well. We have a special feature. And on that same evening, we have Anthony Rodriguez returning. He was actually the feature in last month's LGBTQIA plus open mic. He is coming back with his own one-man show called Reconstructing Puerto Rico. If you're reconstructing myself, the show is from 9 to 11 and the after party is from 11 to 1. If you purchase your tickets in advance on our ticket sites, they are $20. At the door, they will be $30. Because it is Pride Month, we are also adding another show. You've seen the advertising and promotions that I've done in the past weeks. Next week, Friday, the June 23rd at 5 p.m., we have the variety show, which is presented by the United Greek Pride. You can find them on their Instagram page, LUL.OutLoud. Nico Diaz and Cara Ho are performers in that one. You may purchase tickets, for that, $10 in advance or at the door. And on Saturday, not this weekend, but next weekend on June 24th, 7:30 p.m., we have M. Takati, a live looping Saffra rocking performance, and he will have also a special guest, ND3 Ravens. Tickets are only $10, either in advance or at the door. So come on out for this if you can make it. And for everything else, go to our calendar online, go to newregan.org, click on full events calendar, choose the date or time of the program you would like to attend, or scan the QR code currently on the screen. And you can get tickets in advance or at the door. So again, we love to have you for many of our shows. In the meantime, we are going to remain in the online open mic, and our next performer is one of our many good mainstays. Always good to hear him. I know he's not in New York City, but that doesn't matter because this open mic is both national and international. Abram, so happy that you are back, with us again. You are smiling, which is great. I always love to see, everyone in a wonderful mood. So happy to have you here. Let everyone know where we may follow you, and then go ahead with your 3 minutes.
Good evening, Ron, and everybody else here. You can find me on Instagram at the Righteous Poet. And I'm going to share 3 short ones. Actually, the first one was inspired by a challenge from Finn Bill last week. It was a Tonka, but it's 3 verses of a Tonka. So this one is called Photographer's Eye. Photographer's Eye, witness the first-hand account of love and color. No illusions depicted. Lovers pose, slowly dancing, locked up in beauty, lost inside each other's gaze, looking at themselves, making intimate contact, create an optical bond, with hands interlaced, watching their sparks of romance progress with each step, not rushing to bring an end to this timeless rendezvous. Second piece is called Love Undisturbed. Better late than never, I learned to be wise. Let love sleep in peace until she opens her eyes to see for herself. I do not want a bond that is merely physical. In due time, she will respond without her name being called or her body being shaken. For love is not the one to be forcefully awakened. So I leave love undisturbed, unbothered by thoughts of lust, chasing after her flesh to get a dopamine rush. No matter how bad I yearn to kiss her lips and neck, suck the nipples on her breast, I keep my fantasies in check. Refuse to go inside of love until she becomes my wife. Only then we can solidify a strong sexual soul tie, evolving from the heart and mind, bringing the two of us together, becoming one in this union that only death will sever. And this last one is called Mental Distress. If knowledge is the source of power, should not the wise be given honor for the strength they possess to uplift the world in mental distress, we're putting scriptures into praxis to combat foolishness and madness. But for all the great wisdom achieved, the class of intellectuals have grieved over the harsh reality that knowledge has yet to free all minds from bondage, has yet to prove that ignorance is not bliss, has yet to convince fools not to miss an open shot at breaking the chains tightly wrapped around their brains. The prudent are angry because they know a fool's complacency with the status quo, how difficult it is to carry more facts weighing down on sagacious backs when those who lack common sense watch them struggle with indifference. After the wise fought the good fight before their sons set into the night, they must wonder, was it all in vanity to spend their lives serving humanity? Poem. Thank you.
Wow. Everyone, please unmute yourself and give this love poet his flowers, please. Here we go.
Nice work, Abraham. Thank you.
Yeah, Abraham.
It's beautiful.
Well done.
Let them struggle with indifference. That's powerful. Wow.
Yes, how that was really powerful. Thank you so much. So many great lines. I actually lost my connection for a minute there, but I'm glad I heard most of it. Abram, such a pleasure to always have you with us here and reading these poems. So wise, and then yeah, wisdom can never come too late. So I'm glad you're with us here. Thank you so much, Abram. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. All right, let me see, because I just lost my connection. Paul is here. Let me see if I may unmute him if he doesn't mind. Because just in case you don't believe me that Voices and Vibes is not happening this week, but he's going to let us know if it happens later this month rather. And I also want you to promote this event that you're going to get more into next Friday in Newark, because there are 4 people that I at least know on the New York side who we all know from the New York Poets Cafe. But you get more into it. Paul, the next minute is yours.
Thank you, Ron. So we all down with RNT. We all believe Scouts honor, Ron. The 3-syllable stand for the Scouts honor. Or is that the Hunger Games? I don't know. I just did the Hunger Games symbol. So anyway, this Friday, the 16th, is rescheduled, is pushed back actually until June 30th. There's a conflict in the schedule, but this is chess, not checkers. We promise we'll be back with features, with a poetry cipher, with prizes. We're actually working on getting like a championship for the night, like a golden mic or something for the winner of the impromptu Voices and Vibes cipher. Because the last 3 times we did it, it was incredibly successful. So please come through. Everybody who bought tickets for the 16th, you will be pushed. Please get in contact with info@NewYorican, and then you can ask them if you can get another date in July if the 30th of June doesn't work out for you. And then secondly, I want to plug 2 events happening, not this week, but next week in Newark. On the 21st, Wednesday, Poetry in the Bricks in Newark at City Lounge. If you follow me on IG at Poco Queso, you can find out about that. That's an open mic I co-host and co-curate with my brother POME, Poet of My Environment, who I'm going up against in You Got Verse, part of the North to Shore, New Jersey Festival. It's a statewide festival happening, but our event is on June 23rd. It's a Friday, next Friday at NJ Pack. And we got a killer team representing Team NY. I'm the captain of Team New York because I am a New Yorican poet. And we are going up against POME and his supreme team of Jersey poets. But my dream team is the Storm Force assembled of myself with co-captains Ray Jane, co-captain Elemen2al, and our ringer and the force, the B. So the 4 of us put together is going to be a lot more strong than individually. So come out. We still have about 25 tickets, I think, for sale. So if you follow me or Evolu Culture, then you can go and follow them on IG and get all the information, get the tickets. That's out in Jersey. Please come through. Please come through and support, because we're going to be in person tearing it down. It's like Wild and Out, but with poetry. So we're going to be freestyling. We're going to be roasting. There's going to be group pieces. There's going to be solo sets. It's going to be wild. All right. I love y'all. Thank you so much for the time, Ron. E, keep doing the damn thing. I will see you later this week in person. We're going to shut down some New Yo stages in person with some collabs. So if you can make it out, do what you can. See you out there. Peace, love, and poetry, y'all.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Paul. Yes, please. You heard it from him 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from this Friday, rather. Voices and Vibes returns on the 30th with games, with a prize. You know, it sounds exciting. If I wouldn't be co-producing it and working at that event, I would be in the audience for sure. You convinced me, Paul, so I appreciate it. And yes, what an incredible team he has assembled for the event on Friday, the 23rd in Newark. Look at this. You get Rachel, you get Elemen2al, you get Paul, and the Bee, which is our newest host of the Monday Poetry Slam. It is amazing, like, come on out if you can make it. And by the way, if people from, we always tell people, come to New York to the cafe, and then they hear Newark. Like, that's so far. That's in New Jersey. Excuse me. There is a PATH train that goes from Manhattan all the way to the to the big train station in Newark. I've worked in New Jersey before. It's not bad at all. It's easy to get there. It can't be any easier. There's no excuse, to not show up. Paul, thank you so much. Follow him at Paul Concasso, just like his Zoom display name says, and you will not miss out on any of the wonderful events that he hosts in addition to Voices and Vibes. Thank you so much, Paul. We love you. Glad I saw you in person yesterday at a parade. So much fun. It was really wonderful. All right, keep working out because you need all the strength for all these amazing programs you're doing, though. So make sure you get all the energy. Yes. All right. Coming up next is Lantern Carrier from the UK, which means luckily he was spared all that bad air that we got in the New York City metro area last week. Hopefully it didn't make it across the ocean to you guys, Lantern. But it looks like he's in San Francisco. I don't know. Maybe he also is visiting another town like Elemen2al is, but I don't know. Lantern, you let us know what's going on, where we may follow you, and the next 3 minutes are all yours. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm right here in the UK, so I was very fortunate. I'll put my details afterwards. Roses are red, the color of passion. My sweet red rose, you unfurl in magnificence, and the colors of your passion speak in silence to my yearning heart. I wish to weave our love together with a brocade not made of fabric, but quintessentially from the joy of my soul's tears, nurturing a pageantry of garlands to the Himalayas of your excellence. Each moment spent with you unfolds a new scroll on the intimate manuscript of my emotions. Your golden sparkles a mirror, reflecting luminosities of a speechless beauty. You're my jasmine, and I no longer need to look for you, for even when invisible, I still draw on the redolence of your breath. Like the night paying homage to the moon's incandescence, I feel your glimmering rays dance with the wine of thy sweetness in the blackest of mists. Now I know why the nightingale sings so eloquently, and messiahs die for the supernal wine of thy lips. My sentiments are filled with the enduring smile of my heart for you, alive in a bosom so proud to accommodate thy intimacy. I wish to paint your cheeks with Mona's smile, each one even more beautiful, so you remain matchless and eternal. My long nights are over, and there are no regrets. Didn't I walk through the fire of entanglements, emerging your butterfly from this dark and lonely cocoon? Now I feel a love so vast, spilling across the perennial heavens, filling me up with ceaseless joy. My struggles evaporate as our story continues, and yesterday's challenges become my today's lavish banquet. Now the flowers sing and my soul laughs ecstatically, like a naive, innocent child, tickled pink by its mother's pranks. When sunset comes, I see a rainbows of magnificence and a carousel of lanterns glow in my memories. Desire once shackled my soul, severed my poise like split bamboo, unable to dance to the breeze with its usual finesse. Yet every affliction is a love letter from you, just waiting to be opened, to transform my darkness into pearls and diamonds, too precious to express in words. My sighs were once heavy, making the willows weep with sadness. My cobwebs are numerous, and I saw dark clouds in the distance, no blue skies to unentangle the webs of my own creation. Now my smile gives hopes to barren seeds as my soul turns fertile, dancing with delight. With palms pointing upwards, with my tears at your feet, let me kiss and hold your hands. Here's my bouquet of red roses, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. Come, my blossom beauty, my soul's pulse, your stars waltz in my darkness, so the heart may rejoice. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Listen, not only do our hearts, but our ears rejoice every time we hear you. Unmute yourself, give it up for Lantern Carrier.
That was lovely, Lantern. Always lovely.
Thank you, thank you.
You should listen
Happy
to his
Pride Month.
interview on
Used to be a
Confrontation
pimp
Board.
in your former life. Used to be a pimp in your former life.
Tell him, man. Look, you know, Lantern, you. There's no disrespect to anyone else. You probably the most eloquent writer I know. People do incredible things, right? But you make it a point to weave elegance and eloquence into every poem that you make. I don't know how you do that. It's just the Lantern Carrier thing, right? I mean, is that, you come from a long line of Lantern Carriers, you know what I mean? It's just like in your DNA, man, but it's incredible, right? He said, I will paint your cheeks with Mona's smile. Come on. People can't even tell if that's a smile or a smirk. And he said he wants to paint her cheek with her smile. Like, come on, right? So my struggle evaporates as our journey continues. Now my smile gives hopes to barren seas. Tears at your feet. That, in my opinion, is how love poems are written. That's just me. Thank you, Lantern, for being such a mainstay and a powerhouse of our community. Real quick, before we run away, y'all, unmute yourself. Give it up for Ron Mark Thompson.
Yeah, Ron, thanks for everything.
RMT.
RMT. Yeah. Every last homie.
Every last homie, right? Tell them. Listen, I promise y'all that dude, man, he just allows me to do what I do. He's really, really dope at what he does. So make sure you show love to RMT. All right, let's keep it going. Again, shout out the homie. Shout out Storm Force is stand. Listen, you don't want to bumble with the B, huh? Trust, you don't want that, but it's coming. Listen, we're gonna shout out Evolute Culture. Listen, it's going down. If you're in the city, make sure you pull up because we're going to burn it down. All right, coming up next, we mentioned having multiple collabs, and here's the next one coming at you. These two gentlemen, goodness. Listen, I don't know if we ready. I don't know if I need a seatbelt right now. All right, because we have an actual Starship captain and a West Coast troublemaker coming at you real quick, live and direct. Coming up first, all the way from the West, East Bay in the building, the one and only D. Allen is here, collaborating with
Raul James.
Okay, come on, D. Allen. The one and only Raul James is here. Come on. These cats are about to do something phenomenal. You better believe it. Take it away.
Overcome. Try as devils might to change the look of the big picture, passing itself off as democracy, they can't remove us all. For the longest time, they have used abandonment, brutality, criminalization, displacement, enslavement, force-fed false history, gentrification, harassment, intoxication, jokes told, spite in disguise, Ku Klux flaming cross night rides, lust towards our girls and women, mass murder, negation of our views, or police intimidation, Queen's African beauty devalued, religion, Christianity passed down by pilgrims, sterilization, terrorism, unity broken, vicious discrimination, white imperialism, X-South credit for our contributions, youth killed before age 25, Z, last letter, last considered, first targeted, all the tricks implemented on us, and yet our people are still mating, our women are still breeding, our people are still here, our culture is still here. We have overcome endeavors by devils to whittle our number to nothing. We have overcome. It's been a long, arduous walk on the road to progress. Reacting to muscle memory, hurtling over obstacles we didn't design over time. We look forward to thriving in the next 400 years and what they may bring. We look forward to days of joy, seeking pleasure we deserve, not to forget about oppression, but to surmount oppression before it regains ground to conquer spirit. By having the best times of our lives, be loud, be lively, be talented, because they can't silence us all. We have overcome, and whenever possible, we'll do it again. Overcome. For Raul James, Lantern Carrier, Safongos Encanto, Elemental, Midnight Rose Gold, Stacey Artist Dyson, and English protest poet, activist, and artist, Zita Holborn. Overcome.
My roses hell's orange, my violets are blue. For I am so tired of everything they use to keep the house separated. I am not oppressed, I'm not marginalized, and I'm not a minority. From the fringes of my consciousness, I pen this piece in hopes of inspiring and awakening from the distractions of life's bullshit. Deception casts its wide net over wisdom as we live in a fear-induced construct of ignorance. I find myself caught up in a landslide of thoughts, fighting against a downward tumble of energies. The debris of our human frailty fills the airways, suffocating the good that still exists in our hearts. We rumble and toil, seeking to make sense of who we are in a world where freedom is written against the shadow of colonialism. Many are in a vice grip of institutional victimhood that guilts them with shame. While many remain imprisoned in glory days, others embrace a mindset that blankets the past with the morality of the present day. I am not a nigger or my nigger. As James Baldwin said, it was an invented word. It was necessary for you, not me. It reflected fears that dwelled within, covering a false sense of superiority through conquest and greed. I am human, Black, my walk. Not a condemnation of race, but a celebration of pigmentation. I simply speak my truth, unafraid of investigation as a free man of thought. I'm a descendant of kings and queens, architects of great civilizations. My ancestors experienced the good, the bad, the ugly, and I'm proud of their legacy. Scattered to the four corners, disconnected, uninspired, the history of a people were hijacked, discredited, and whited out. Families, culture, and their own sense of self rewired. Men were raped of their essence to be made boys. Women's virtues were valued as concubines for amusement. Their spirit was under constant barrage of hell's fire. Humanity was denied and their bodies beaten. Crushed beyond recognition as pleasure derived from having their race beaten beyond the molecular makeup that binds all life. Their daily bread never enough to sustain life while being denied the rest needed to honor the temple. But faith remained strong while praying on bloodstained knees, waiting for the judgment day of the master's sins. I call upon the spirits of my ancestors to guide me as I stand up against injustices, fueling a revolution where no pound of penance is needed. I've looked within to love, past the anger and hatred, to the wisdom weltered upon their backs, their virtues hidden in the scarred and cracked lines of their faces. In the chambers of my soul, I heard their voices echoing the call for liberty, tying us in a single garment of destiny. Their songs of freedom stayed constant as they carried the burden that was theirs to bear. And as their ashes return to enrich the earth, the dust of their bones stirs up in the winds as we await the awakening of our own warrior souls. I issue a call to all my brothers and sisters. Free your heart from fear, unshackle from mental slavery, to know the truth that we are a mighty people. Before raising your hand against your own, know the backs who took the lash. Before speaking with contempt and disrespect, know the lives that did not live. The time has come for us to take our rightful place, to recognize the value of all life and leave behind the insanity of indifference while embracing a mindset that brings us together. Our lives have to matter to us. Our history must matter to us. It is no longer us versus us or even us versus them. Let us no longer be blind, deaf, and dumb as we embrace a mindset that casts out the insanity of indifference. It is time to awaken and no longer be our own plantation masters, but to be free within so we can live free together. Let us build anew, valuing all life as we fulfill the prophecy of those who came before us. The time has come for us to get right with our history so we're not stuck in its hypocrisy. Arm in arm, let us walk with grace and dignity and deliver on the promise of getting to the mountaintop. We are the fulfillment of prophecies that Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Marcus Garvey, W.E.B. Du Bois, Langston Hughes, Jonathan Davis, Viola Desmond, Fannie Lou Hamer, Claudette Colvin, Mamie Elizabeth Till, Daisy Bates, Dwight Eisenhower, Malcolm X, Martin
Vernon
Luther King,
Johns,
Robert
Mumia
Kennedy.
Abu Jamal.
There you go. Shirley Chisholm, Desmond Tutu, Nelson Mandela, and Robert Woodson spoke of.
George Jackson, Jonathan Jackson.
There you go. It is said
Frederick
that the truth
Douglass.
shall set us free, but only if one is open to the truth that binds us. We all walk this earth, breathe the same air, drink the same water. We all come from woman, and death will visit us all.
This
Let's
was a
not be
united
colorblind.
front.
Hold on. Let us not be colorblind, but be human-sighted.
Human-sided.
This
That
was
was
a
a
different-
united front
Yeah.
against hypocrisy from Raul James and D. Allen.
Yeah, Allen. This was a different collaboration on theme based on a conversation two brothers were having, and we're tired of the nonsense, but we're down to speak it and hopefully open hearts and minds. Blessings, family.
And that is how
Good night, y'all.
that is how a call to action is done. Unmute yourself. Give it up for D. Allen and Raul James.
Great job, you guys.
Oh, Jay. Good job. Well done. Great job.
Yeah,
Bend
fantastic
the rules
job.
and make it
Yeah.
beautiful. It's all good. Yes.
Powerful words.
It's poems like that I continue to say, those are the poems that need to be written, right? We have fun writing about, flowers and rainbows and the dirt and the grass, right? We do that. But it's things like this that we have to be reminded of, because these are the charges for poets. We are the truth tellers. And in that, it makes us historians, because we have to make sure the facts stay straight, because of course, the major people, the higher ups, if you will, are trying to make sure that the truth is convoluted, right? They leave in or sneak in doubt. to where the truth is no longer the truth, right? Like D. Allen said, Christianity was passed down by pilgrims, right? Probably on one of their Ku Klux Flaming Cross night rides. Who knows, right? Our culture is still here, though, right? Definitely. We look forward to days of joy, of course, but we are still under an oppressive rule that, like Rawls said, will keep our house separated, right? Let's not forget the people who took that lash, because they took it so we didn't have to, right? Say their names. I know the names that they mentioned, some of y'all might not know, but I implore you to go back and listen to all those names and do research on all of them, because they are all significant in the struggle, right? James Baldwin, Fannie Lou Hamer, Free Mumia, Paul Robeson is another cat. Listen, there's so many people who have been trying to do this thing, right? And now we have the freedom to do it worldwide. So please take advantage of that and write the poems that need to be written and come and share them with us. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing all of that, for having that conversation, for writing those poems and bringing them and sharing this with us. Thank you. All right. Coming up next, I'm gonna let this poet, and I'm gonna make sure this poet tells you, they have a society affair that is dropping this week, if I am not mistaken. And I love when poets stay dedicated to what they do, because you end up seeing things like this. And I'll make sure this poet lets you know, coming all the way from the West Coast, the one and only Bianca's in the building, who last time came through said that she won her first slam. So again, congratulations. Unmute yourself, let the folks know where they can find you online and all about the Dope Poet Society. Take it away.
Thank you so much, brother. Yes, the Dope Poet Society, my Patreon is going to be releasing this Saturday. I'm so excited. I've been working so hard on it. I'm still tweaking a few things, but please follow me on Instagram at be.yonkaa to get all my updates. I'm happy to be here. So this was an interesting prompt to write, because the first thing I thought about was Roses by Outkast. And I was like, I don't want to go down that road. Not quite. I'm going to try and speak about passion and all that. So this one is called His and Hers, and it's going to be a perspective, a male perspective and a feminine perspective. So here we go. He doesn't know what he wants, but he knows he needs her. Sometimes the hottest starts have the coldest ends, yet your love fills my glass half full of time, full of gratitude, full of life, like your love can only fit my heart. Your love is a language, fluent in besitos. I peel your petals back and put you on a pedestal of passion written by a common ancestor we've grown to respect, studied by kindred spirits thirsting for someone to adore them the way you adore me. See, your love brings me energy. The power you hold in your own righteousness invested in me, because we go for broke, not brokenhearted, vengeful, like who dares to break the heart of this human who loves? Well, thank you. Because now I know how to love them the way they're built and not the way they fell, like that empire, that Roman Empire type of love. Your love is a reminder that forever does exist as long as you're in it, constantly planting a seed that only you can water with the soil you provide that keeps me grounded in your spirits, a testimony of faith to always be what you are, yourself. You deserve your flowers, yet your love is covered in thorns, the most beautiful damsel in distress. See, now it's her turn. She knows that he's everything she's ever wanted, but she tries not to need him. Sometimes the strongest hearts have the weakest moments. My love knows its way around conversation, keeping the image of me in your mind vivid enough for you to eat my words that taste like honey and feel my presence like my velvet tongue only knows how to speak of love. My love is distracting because I make sure you're always wanted, even on days you don't want yourself. It lets me know to love you harder on those days, because if those days turns into weeks, our faith in each other weakens, and I can't mend the love that left before I made things right by the weekend. My love hurts. It hurts of giving. It hurts of wanting. It hurts of needing. My love hurts even when I don't want it to. Yet maybe the ways my love hurts can also mean my love heals. I'm only a rose with thorns. See, I bleed often enough to remind myself wounds turn into scars, pricked with earthly reminders that everything wilts with the winds. My blood is warm as a reminder that maybe my heart isn't meant to be this cold. And I don't know much, but I know if my love heals, then I can love someone who is worthy of experiencing my growth through my pain. Someone who is healing themselves and realizing love doesn't conquer all, but instead respects me just as much as they love me. The way I love is through your truth. Not the glories of yesterday, but through the eyes of green that showed you a way of life that made you so blue. My love is honest, straight up, and funny. My love is who I am. My love is my heart. My love is learning through my healing. My love is ever evolving. My love is you. Thank you guys. Again, my Patreon's releasing this Saturday. I hope to see some familiar faces there. Much love.
Come on. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bianca.
Oh, the way I love you is through your
All
truth.
right, good luck.
How lovely.
Wonderful.
Your writing is just, it's
Nickels
such a
and
joy.
dimes, we deserve
Oh,
it.
sharp.
Whatever
Oh.
we got. Good luck with that one.
Oh, that was soul food. Oh,
Well. And listen, that's a hop, skip, and a jump from roses, what she mentioned. All right, you can come with the roses for real, right? I'm all for that. You know what I mean? Crash into a ditch. Just playing. Listen, your love fills my glass half full. Peel your petals back and put you on a pedestal. Come on now. So now you're just gonna start word playing and shit. Okay. All right. She said forever does exist as long as you're in it. Damn. Full of thorns, a beautiful damsel in distress. Come on. Did you? Everything wills with the wind, right? Experience my growth through my pain. Now that to me, that is a beautiful definition of love, right? Because usually before people find their own love, they've been hurt by some love, whether it be parental, grandparents, something, right? Love found you in a hurtful way. So when you find it, it's always healing, right? You're always healing from some type of pain. Love is supposed to be that nurturing thing. But what I've learned is and I say lottie-dottie, everybody has a different definition of love. So find yours and believe in it. Appreciate you, Bianca. Make sure you are plugging in with the Dope Poet Society. I no doubt it will be bananas. All right, coming up next. Listen, this next poet, I continue to call the Iron Chef of poetry, because everything he serves up is so damn delectable. And he just happens to be dope with the pen. The one and only Generalissimo is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you online, Generalissimo. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Ross, yes, I'll put that in the chat afterwards. I have two poems. I'm not sure if I'll do both of them, but I'll just go to the first one and see what I can figure. First one's brand new. It's called A Series of Disjointed Vignettes Thought Up While Sitting on an Outdoor Library Bench. One of these days, things are going to go my way. I will put one foot in front of the other without stepping on my tongue or putting my foot in my mouth or stepping on shite, because shite is everywhere and so is quicksand I can step into with one wrong word. Two, I wonder why every time I step outside to a sunny day, it starts raining like cats and dogs. And of course, all of the cats and dogs are pissing, creating the worst kind of rain. Three, one of these days, the sun will decide to shine and birds will sing sweet songs instead of dropping bird droppings on my brand new Stetson hat. What should I do when bird dew stains my Stetson? Because no matter how I try to clean it, there will always be a faded spot where I cleaned it off. Four, I wonder if love bugs who fly around making love to each other till they smash into a windshield are happy at the moment of their death. I'm pretty sure they are. After all they do is have sex. Plus, they don't see the windshield as a wall of death, and of course, they are engrossed in making love. According to Darla of Little Rascals fame, the love bug will get you if you don't watch out. 5. Isn't it sweet the way birds sound when they tweet? Yet when people tweet, they are likely wasting time. When people tweet, they take words and cram them into keyboards attached to laptops and smartphones, not acting all that smart, condensing what they say into something impersonal. 6. Why are so many beautiful flowers poisonous? When I was a kid in Alabama, we'd suck the sweet nectar from honeysuckles. We'd go into the woods to pick wild blackberries. Our hands would get scratched up from thorns, but the cobbler Mama made was magical. Our fingers looked bloody from blackberry juice, which took 2 or 3 washings to remove. It was more than worth the time because Mama's blackberry cobbler was magical. When Mama pulled the cobbler from the oven, sweet, syrupy blackberry juice bubbling through cracks and golden brown biscuity crust was a sight for sore eyes, accompanied by an aroma that teased olfactory senses into submission. Like the song says, those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. They did end. We grew up, we left the nest. Mama no longer makes cobbler. 7. As I was driving down Main Street, a truck nearly hit me jetting from a bank parking lot as if the driver was chasing the last parking spot at Trader Joe's. I pressed my brakes hard to avoid a wreck. The driver stopped short less than 1.5 feet from my car and looked me in the eyes. Then I gave him a go-ahead wave rather than flipping him off. I smiled as he turned away. I let out a sigh of relief. I knew I did the right thing by not flipping him off, though my brain was chastising me for not flipping him off. Addendum to 7, but I could not stop smiling and laughing under my breath because it felt good to not let every frustration from an extremely frustrating day find their way to my middle finger aimed at someone who might have had a worse day than me. Gracias, everyone, and I put in the chat how you can attend BWOMs after this, so thank you. And thank you, Elemental. And thank you, Ron.
Keep telling y'all, this man is a genius when it comes to serving up delectable poetry. He just is. Unmute yourself, give it up for Generalissimo.
Great job,
Yeah.
Generalissimo.
Yeah, Generalissimo.
Oh, your writing is so beautiful.
Like when I hear your intro, Generalissimo, it reminds me of when you turn on a gas stove, right? And you hear that tick, 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 boom, right? And it's just like that. He's like, okay, I'm about to set it off right here. Let me drop this piece of paper and this pen. And, you listen, Generalissimo. I truly, truly appreciate how you do what you do. And then listen, the bird on the hat. Oh man, listen. I'm a hat fanatic. Folks who know me. Listen, if bird put on my hat, man, I think I might just go bananas and just start. I'm just going on a bird vengeance. Like you said, once it happens, like now there's always that spot there. It's just horrible. They don't see the windshield as a wall of death because they're too busy having sex, right? Said, have you ever heard a bird tweet? It's beautiful. When people tweet, they are likely wasting time. Come on. Come on. Come on. He said, I'm gonna give him a go-ahead wait instead of flipping him off. Come on. Right? I appreciate you, Generalissimo. Really, really. I think you're better than a lot of folks, man. They would have hit him with the bird. But thank you for holding on to that and bringing it to us, right? Which is why I continue to say, never, ever, ever. Listen, I would even say, go and piss off some vampire or some werewolf. Never piss off a poet. Never. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. All right. Thank you, Generalissimo. Coming up next, this incredible poet has got something in the mix, got something cooking, and as it gets closer, I will continue to make sure they plug their stuff too. The one and only Vex Lex is in the building, y'all. Make sure you tell these folks about your upcoming work, Lex. It's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental, and I always appreciate you. So as you guys can see, there is the cover art from my book, my upcoming book, Ask Me Again in 6 Months. Shout out to Ella Diem of Red or Green Books for doing the amazing cover. I'm so ecstatic about this. It is getting closer to the official book release. So I'm excited about that. If you want to plug in with me, IG VexLex Poetry, DM me for a pre-order, or you could also go to my website, officialvexlex.com, and fill out the form to get your pre-order. So I have 2 short poems tonight. The first one is called Thruple. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a thruple. There's my girlfriend who only signed up to be in a couple. There's me, someone who has a tough time dividing themselves evenly. And there's the BPD, a force that wedges itself in between and makes sure it is always seen. When tensions are high and I have no other choice but to think out loud, I gather the courage to say, three's a crowd. And the second piece is Roses Are Real. I used to think red was for anger, the scent of frustration, the color of chaos, until you dressed me in roses. I have never looked at the color the same. I do not see the fury nor the upset. I see pure love from the outset. I have never been given flowers before. I tell you over and over again, you must be tired of hearing it, but I am not tired of getting them. No one has gotten me flowers before. I see that now. Roses are real and not just meant to be seen on television or in the movies. Real are the roses given to me by the love of my life. Thank you.
I'm not crying. I'm not crying on that. I'm not. Oh, mute yourself. Give it up for VexLex.
Beautiful, Vex. I
Beautiful,
love
Vex.
that.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Congratulations on the upcoming book for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh, again, I see folks are digging the title, right? It's going down, Lex, for real. And then you come to do what you have been coming to do the entire right? The thruple piece, yeah, I dig that, right? And for those of y'all who didn't catch, what Vex mentioned about, the thruple, she said my girlfriend, myself, and the BPD. If you're not sure what that is, look into it, right? And the second piece, roses are real. Damn it, right? Used to be the color of chaos, 100%, till you dressed me in roses. Never been given flowers before. You may be tired of hearing it, but I'm not tired of getting. Come on. Again, this is what this whole thing was about, right? To see how this color ties love and passion and people together. Y'all are incredible. Thank you for truly digging into the themes as y'all always do. Really. We have reached our last 5. Real quick, shout out a couple other people. Terry Rose Jertson is in the building. 1/3 of the Jersey Trinity in the house, right? Also, shout out Maddie Marroquin. Might not be able to make it this evening, but we always appreciate Maddie Ice for coming through. The hype engineer himself. That dude is incredible. And of course, the Queen Thunderlung is in the building. The one and only Ray Jane is here. Whew. Look, the Queen is serious business. All right, make sure you are plugging in on Thursday nights. Bring your music, bring all your poetry. It's going down for real. And as Ron said, Team NY is going to burn it down. Believe it. All right, let's get to these last 5 poets. And this energy is going to rock. Let me tell you. Coming up first, this poet has come through and continues to amaze us. Again, I'm still waiting on some more translation. So I hope you've been practicing because I'm definitely on it. I hope to see more of it. The one and only Undetermined Cause is in the building. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know how they can find you online. We are ready for all your incredible. Come on.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you tonight. Okay, anyway, I wanted to write on the theme, but time got away from me before I just went to DC and I just got back today to visit for the Pride Parade and celebration. So that was my first time, and I really, really enjoyed that. So anyway, I had the opportunity to meet a deaf family while I was visiting, and I just really enjoyed that. It's always fun to like make new friends. But anyways, so I'm going to read something that I wrote last week, and the title, I don't have one yet, so I'm just going to go with that. The second she steps outside, she becomes one with the beauty that surrounds her. Nature is her infinite happy place, limited with only diction to describe what it means to her. Lost in the moment, she begins to blend in with her surroundings, camouflaging worries and imperfections. Unable to cage the words and rhyme while birds sing orchestral symphonies of free verse. There is not a piece of nature's grandeur that she doesn't admire. Dappled sunlight dancing through the trees, casting silhouettes on her skin, wishing it would ink permanent impressions on her soul. When untouched by human hands, its vulnerability exposed, but displayed as majestic wonder. Winding paths uncut, falling, decaying branches, exposed crooked roots, knotted trunks cloaked in twisting vines, all stretching for their place in the sunlight. She always remains inspired by the life she encounters along the winding, unbeaten paths. Intricately woven webs catching glimmering sparkles of sunlight through the fresh dewdrops, hushed steps of deer tucked behind giant trees protecting new life while nourishing their own. The wind slowly shaking trees with leaves flapping in applause for the agility of thousands of years withstanding. Squirrels returning to acorns hidden months prior following internal maps of memory. Mushrooms sneaking through piles of fallen curled leaves and brittle straw, leaving many magical marks of their own. Morning glories and wisteria spraying shades of blue and purple to highlight otherwise dark underbrush, providing nectar to delicate hummingbirds and vibrant butterflies. While cicadas are hollering for reproductive rights and gentle turtles carrying the weight of the world patiently munch on appetizers of crisp leaves. The stillness and the serenity of the surreal surrounding scenery takes her breath away as she quietly considers she will again become part of the earth from which she came. Thank you.
Yeah, breathe in all of that garden right there. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Undetermined Cause.
That was
Thank
lovely. I really
you.
enjoyed it.
You hear it, you can feel it, you can see it, you can smell it.
That was a beautiful
Make
journey.
my senses sing.
Right, see, right? Like, I think Mother Nature is singing right now, just because they recognize that someone sees them and feels them, right? And it is their infinite happy place, right? I've never heard someone go into nature and say it was camouflaging their word, but I totally got that, right? There's not a piece of nature's grandeur she doesn't admire, especially when it's untouched by human hands, right? Because then you are seeing the authentic nature of nature the way it was intended, not where man comes to make room for ourselves. She always remains inspired. Come on. First, listen, I don't know if you had a place in mind, but then you started talking about hummingbirds and cicadas and mushrooms. I'm like, are you talking about Madagascar? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it was just magical. You kind of put us all in the jungle where we could kind of hear all these things and see all these flowers. So thank you. And for the ASL, we appreciate you. All right. Make sure you're plugging in with Undetermined Cause, a mainstay of our community. And you see why. All right. Coming up next, Final Four. Again, said shout out earlier to the Queen Black Swan. She's not feeling good, but we are sending healing vibes. And so, as a great Scott pleasant gesture, we get delighted by our resident razor blade, right? This Marine here, boy. I mean, he's gonna do it to you, and I'm gonna say it before and after. Let the church say, God damn. Here comes CP Mays, y'all. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, man. You know what it is. Dope.
Hey, everybody. Shout out to everybody that came before. Like, it's always amazing to get inspired, you know? And I wanted to say this before I even start. What's so amazing about Ray Jane and Elemen2al and what we've cultivated here, and I'm just new to it, you know, is that we all don't mind helping each other further your craft, you know? It's not like I'm trying to be a better writer than you. So me and Zamkanto, we actually submitted narratives to this internet radio station based out of Canada, and we both got selected. So we're both going to be broadcasted sometime Wednesday, and then we're going to be rebroadcasted twice in a weekend. And it's kind of like the Moth podcast, like so shout outs to even putting me onto that, bro. Poem. There was a guy who stayed in the arts district next to me, and he introduced himself as Fort Wiley. He was a Vietnam vet, and he used to sometimes get so plastered, you know, drinking cheap fifths of vodka or whatever he could buy, that he would just scream into the night, like talking to his own demons, you know, because Vietnam was kind of really ugly. They came back and got spit on, you know, like that's kind of crazy. So this is for him. And remember, it was only a couple of years ago that the data was 24 veterans were dying a day, suicide. So that's real life. Here's a poem. It's called Fort Wiley. There is a man whose voice is a wild fort inside the Alamo of our minds, and we got a lot more in common than just lonely nights, or nights without armor, or how some people call on God in houses of prayer with tax breaks, while we're still paying for flat rate dial tones in Mother Nature's nude, calling on the wind's fallen spirits lost within these armed forces. He reminds me that some people wear the pages of their history like wolves in sheep's clothing as they judge other books by their covers. Some people wear marriage like it's a medal of honor, divorce like it's a court-martial, failure like flags flown at half-mast because others that hide behind theirs have a fetish for seeing our inseams before they string us up again. He reminds me that you can take some of us soldiers out of the war, but you can't take the war out of some of us. We got a secret for you normal portals. Some of us are not. Some of us converse with the passion from within, the wind within, because that's the only way we know how to pull back the blow jobs of a life that really knows how to fucking suck, but never learned how to spit or swallow. Don't get us wrong, y'all. We're not tired of being sick and tired. We're tired of having this tired skin carry bones so well that every time I step into graveyards, tombstones give me standing ovations. I'm tired of noticing women carrying bags underneath their eyes because they're still holding on to men who are no longer holding on to them. Maybe most nights we are wet seamen, but most nights me and old Fort Wiley are as strong as concrete. How can you call on God but call us crazy for talking to people who you think aren't even there? With that same knuckle uplift, backdraft, beat the pills down children's throat because they would rather talk to their imaginary friends than play cowboys or give smallpox to the Native Americans. Spear the queer with your church house fear or sing Ring Around the Rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes to ashes. Ask the lawyers how daddy day little girls down there. We call them monsters. Uplift up here, we call them priests, politicians, presidents. Half of us know him as family, but he reminds me that the only reason I'm afraid to face the face in the mirror at night because it's the only time I never feel alone. Nuyo, I'm trying to write my way back into heaven. Then again, who's not? Except maybe you. You got it all figured out. Labeling us nigga, spick, trailer trash, towel head, baby mama, camel jockey. But then again, you've always been perfect at playing God. Oh.
I warned y'all. I warned y'all. God damn it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CP. Man.
Come on, CP, CLC, keep it concrete.
That was
Fantastic.
so
Like Jesse, bro.
convicting.
Yeah. Fire. Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
Stop holding back, man. You gotta let it go sometimes.
Yeah, like every Monday, I feel like I'm the kid with the crack halo, but this is my duct tape every week. You know what I'm saying? Like it holds this thing together. So thank y'all. Thank y'all.
The cracked halo. What?
Right. Ngoma, right. Shout out the keeper of the concrete. Shout out the dopest Marine that I know. Rest in peace to my pops, of course. So listen. I mean, look, we got a lot more in common than Lonely Nights, right? Falling on the wind's fallen spirit, right? They have a fetish for seeing our inseams. And of course, yeah, you know, I mean, I thought everybody was gonna crack. He said, I carry bones so well. When I walk into graveyards, tombstones give me standing ovations. We call them monsters, but up here, they're priests, politicians. Oh my goodness. You know, look, you say you're trying to write his way back into heaven with a cracked halo. I mean, if there was never a thing, I think they might make an exception. Kind of like Spawn, brother. Like, if they don't recruit you, the other side will. Make sure you are plugging in with CP Mays. That dude is a monster of the best kind. For real. For real. All right. And following that is the atmosphere rearranger, the other storm god in the building, the one and only Zomkonto is here, y'all. I'm telling you, I warned y'all about this energy that was coming, right? Unmute yourself, Zomkonto. Let the folks know how they can plug into all that you do. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the blessing and ripple of words that you've been giving tonight. That's just the recovery from that is such a beautiful journey itself. Thank you so much for your poetry. Now, I wrote this poem to theme, and I don't have a title of what to call it yet, but it's almost an extension of the one that I did the last week. The roses that we place on graves of loved ones become food for the birds that roam the sky, so save them. Because unless you can prove it in words, that those birds use voices of the dead to soothe the wounds of the living, then you are just giving away free meals to a species that would still sing for you anyway, without asking for anything. Love after the grave is a tricky business, and those invested in it have mastered the art of counting their human losses while numbering their roses. I know a child who was made that flowers have to die for us to mourn the dead, who knew that every bunch of roses is a second death, because flowers are proud of their own upbringing too, and some rose bushes are still orphans up to this day. Who would believe him if he told them that roses have been grieving their missing for ages, until they bled blood red and their innermost pain turned into a fragrance? Love after the grave is a tricky business. I know a family that are still numbering their roses. Thomas claimed the last visit, but the whole time he was texting my pictures because the man under the grave died before he could even form a sentence. So the world judges him and shoves flowers in his hand to give to a total stranger, and his younger brother fumes made that flowers have to die for us to mourn the dead. His young brother rages because who would believe him? If he said roses are like us, they have mourning dresses, some white and some black as a myth, that old garden roses only bloom once now and die every other time. Who could believe this child who stands in the middle of the town square as the hearse passes and grieves for the wreaths instead? We plant rose gardens to replace the ones that have wilted, filing into cemeteries in a religious sacrament with the God of the guilty, seeking penance for neglecting the gardens inside of each other. So we water each other's graves as if their chests will open and the wasted love grows again. What if roses are red because someone stabbed them in their core and they bled profusely? Thank you.
Listen, it's already a magical, but you made it divine. Come on, unmute yourself. Give it up for Zonkoto.
Beautiful
Zonkoto.
Zonkoto.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, that was
You're a
gorgeous.
fucking gift to all of us, damn it. I love you.
Okay. Listen. I appreciate that, CC. Just so everybody don't have to hear me yelling all the time, right? They don't think I'm the only damn crazy person in this room. Listen, y'all continue to do this. I'm biased, right? You know that. I'm biased, right? Because I get to be here with the greatest community in the world every single week. But damn it, I love y'all so much. Y'all continue to push the envelope every single time. Every single time. I feel like y'all, listen, I feel like y'all do the same thing I do, right? You could write a poem about a blade of grass. I'm not going to do that to y'all, right? I promise I won't give you a theme about a blade of grass, all right? But the way that you bring all the energy to these things, right? Listen, they use voices of the dead to comfort the living. I don't even know. That whole stream of thought is ensuring the continuance of our ancestors by respecting not only the flower, but the bird and every cycle of life in between, based on roses. This is why I love poets. This is why I love our community, because y'all are magical without trying. And then you actually try, and then it becomes priceless. It becomes immortal, because all of y'all are just like mythical beings. Y'all got to know that. Y'all got to know that. You're poets, right? You're not just the regular. You're poets. You're all incredible. Thank you, Zonkoto, for doing what you do. Last two. Coming up next, this gentleman with his incredible book, doing this, and doing it well. Clearly this evening, he got his hair down, he flaunting, he's sitting in front of the keys. We about to see what this cat does, because he does it well indeed. The one and only CCR Chagra is here. Unmute yourself. Let the folks know where they can find you, CC. Please take it away.
Okay, yeah, just ccrchagra.com. And there's so much social media. I'm one of the people who get burned out about that. On the little letters over here on the side, what that says is human rights, free speech, and the word. This book is not just a book of my poetry. This is a documentation of who we are, what we do, and it's got a lot of shit in it. It's good and bad. It's ugly, and that's the book. But this is something I never show. In 2011, I made 4 CDs of experimental poetry called the ID Inkless Dialogue Poem, and never sold them. I got boxes of them still. And what CP May said about we don't compete with each other, we lift each other. This is fucking so important. I want you all to take that home. I don't care if Daniel was first poem, and then Ron coming in, picking him up and showing him some love, and now he's got a book, and he's still writing, saving his own, trying to pass his own mind. You're here to save your fucking life. And then get yourself out of the way and leave art bigger than you. So thank you, CP, and everyone, Zonkoto every week, everyone, no matter where you are not in competition with each other here. Even if you're slamming, do that with love. Do that with love. You can slam, by the way. calm down. That's what I'm gonna do. And there was no thing. So this is the thing I got. If I hit a wrong key, it's shit happens. I've been working a lot. So. It is here that I observe my own mind. It is here I observe my own mind. Here I observe my own mind. And I calm down. I calm down. I care for the sight of love is blind. My heart takes a rest and I sigh. And Shakespeare is the name of my dog. And I'm grateful I feel home here and now. Even when I'm not seen, even when I'm not heard, even when I'm all alone inside the wind. As I share my alone with my peace of mind. As I catch my wild thoughts with a choice to calm them down. As the wars rage all around me, surviving just to die, still I feel grateful here and now. It is here I observe my own mind. It is here I observe my own mind. Here I observe my own mind, and I calm down. I calm down. Then everything true hits a wall. Then everything large discovers it's small. And everything out there is only within. Then here comes fear's reasons to fear you love again. It is here I observe my own mind. It is here I observe my own mind. It is here I observe my own mind. Then I calm down. I calm down.
Yeah, he did that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CC or Shagro.
That's for the new yo.
That's really great, CC.
Beautiful song.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I'm just a
All
lyric
right,
writer.
musician.
I couldn't play a chord or a note. I don't know what keys are. I just write lyrics, and I've been writing lyrics and songs, and every now and then I get so far away from not being a poet, I'm bleeding. I got to do something. So if there's a piano nearby, and I ended up learning the difference between poetry and lyric writing, it's a different animal. And then all of a sudden I was out in Washington State. I moved out there, and this guy gave me a fucking keyboard, and I started playing piano in 08.
See,
I can't even carry out the trash and spit a poem at the same time, and you're playing piano like and doing your thing. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Look, y'all. Look. Again, I mentioned the modesty earlier, right? And this cat just did an entire song, which was a poem, by the way. I know, lyric writing, it's still poetry. But you did an entire poem on this, which you made all of us calm down. And then had the nerve to say, oh, I don't know how to play piano. I just, right? He said at first, I might hit a wrong note, bang, bang, bang. And then he went to, come on, man. Come on, man. I love poet's modesty, right? It's like, here's a poem. Come on, man. Shakespeare's my dog's name, right? I care for the sight that love is blind. Surviving just to die, come on. Everything out there is only in here. Make sure you are plugging in with CCR Chagra. Really, that dude, again, his manuscript, the CDs. Listen, those may be dope, CC, but I'm gonna need you to start your next album with that song right there, sir. Make sure it's on there. Appreciate you. All right, y'all. We have reached the closer for the evening. And it's a beautiful segue. So thank you, CC, for the Nina Simone poster back there, and for leading us to our closer. I had the incredible honor of meeting this incredible poet and his beautiful queen. Shout out to Queen Oshun. I got a chance to see these. Listen, the closer this evening is an instrument. The sound that they filled the entire space with, the way that the crowd came to life and was completely enthralled with what this brother did, and then had the nerve to be fly as hell with it, and came off the dome, y'all. So, thanks to all the things in this universe, we got the one and only Baba Ngoma as our closer this evening. Please, Baba, take it away.
Hello. It was great meeting you in person, brother. Great. So, and this goes to you and to CP Mays, this particular poem. I'm a Vietnam vet, and a lot of people don't realize it, but there were a lot of GIs that resisted while they were in Vietnam. They didn't just go around doing all the shit that the brass said for them to do. And they did all that they could not to do shit. And I could say I was one of them. This poem is called Grunt. I keep getting compliments on this picture, and I keep asking why. Funny thing is how old photos lie, like this one. How everybody's got their own idea of what was really going on. Like we should be proud to protect our country while struggling for human rights. I never saw it that way. I was drafted. I didn't volunteer. It wasn't my idea to go to a strange land, hunt down the locals and kill them. After all, the whole deal was a lie. There was never a threat to US soil, only diamonds, opium, and oil to protect. Most GIs never knew why. Here's a real picture. Tet was over. We'd already lost the war. Most of the time we spent looking for the mighty NVA, but they'd already hit and run. As we sat on fire bases in the mountains of Pleiku, Shorty from Carolina singing sitting on the dock of the bay till the night he got hit by shrapnel and got medevaced away. Guarding ghosts and bunkers at the VC with an AK and a bowl of rice had overrun, riding dragons wearing sandals made of rubber tires by Firestone. We smoked gold from Cambodia with a sip of strawberry wine, waiting for the monsoon to stop, to run search and destroy patrols, checking out bomb craters where the first cab fought hand to hand, thinking Fat Sam had the upper hand. But I wasn't down with all that follow me, I'm infantry jive. I was with the brothers that resisted and stayed alive. We organized the write-in vote for Dick Gregory's Peace and Freedom Party, shared Black Panther papers and Muhammad Speaks so our spirit could survive, poured libations to Ogun, always united, raising the black fist, listening to Curtis sing, keep on pushing, Marvin Crewman, what's going on, giving dap and flipping scripts, giving patriotism a twist. We knew who the real enemy was. They never called us nigger. Yeah, so so that's what was up. The second poem, both poems are from my book. I didn't come here to tap dance. This is called Pick Up Whatever You Can Pick Up. Aha. A real education is important. Ignorance is expensive. Otherwise, one could go through life too dumb to know you're dumb, too stupid to know you're stupid, and too racist to know you're racist. It may even cause the selection of a president who can't tell the bad guys from the bad guys. It's a real problem if you watch Fox Channel, not realizing it's the fox guarding the hen house, thinking CNN, the FBI, and CIA intelligence are fake news. You can't put the genie back into the bottle or make the president presidential while the world's being turned upside down, leaving global warming deniers in charge. And we're stuck at trying to figure out if the so-called Constitution is constitutional. Actually, everybody is an immigrant except victims of the transatlantic slave trade and indigenous First Nation people. The real homeland security should take back Mexico, Texas, California, and Florida too. In fact, maybe everybody should be deported whose descendants came in boats. Mexicans should put up a wall to keep Cheeto out. You do realize that war is profitable, but the US hasn't won one since 1945. Seems like the new Confederacy is south of Canada. Tumble skin thin in the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil cabinet turns a blind eye to hurricanes in Puerto Rico, California burning, mudslides, massive oil leaks in the North Pole meltdown. Seemed like deja vu. 20,000 years in a cave can do strange things to a person's mind. So these so-called white supremacists are under some kind of illusion that they are supreme and neo-slavery can make America great again. Seems to me it's time to wake up from this nightmare called the American dream, because these misleaders change the rules of the game faster than they change draws, and why you don't even realize that it is a game. But there can be no peace without justice. And we keep forgetting to forget that justice and laws are two different conversations. So look here, Lucy, we got a problem. While we're discussing sexual misconduct, the shithole in the Oval Office is sodomizing the whole damn world without grease or a kiss. The Kremlin's got remote control of the White House as they try to make you think taking a knee was about the anthem and the blood-splattered banner. Meanwhile, blue lives still murder while Black lives matter. Sickles want to make you think that pedophilia is normal and should be legal, but there's a secret pedophile ring in the Vatican. What would Jesus say? Why do Black people get emotional over the description of Jesus dying on a cross, but not from Black men still hanging from trees? We've gone from pyramids to plantations, to projects, to prisons, standing on the edge of tomorrow, not making good decisions, not realizing that they're killing democracy softly. We're the ones we've been waiting for. And as we fiddle while Rome burns, the world think we're suckers, wondering what the fuck we're waiting for. waiting on you to fit in where you can fit in and pick up whatever you can pick up. Meantime, we suffer from a lack of knowledge, distracted with bullshit like running Oprah for president, when we should be finding a way to talk about impeaching POTUS and ending the Electoral College. How about our civil rights got short-circuited? We need to fight for self-determination. In fact, make this go viral. A luta continua. The struggle still continues for our liberation.
You damn right. The struggle continues. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ngoma.
Powerful. That was
Thank you,
amazing.
thank you.
That was heavy.
Not waste a syllable.
That was
Fuck you.
loaded. Wow.
Thank you, thank you.
By the way, this
Come
is
through
Pierre
to
Sylvan.
tap dance.
Hey, that's a real painting. Mississippi Goddamn. That's my buddy Pierre. Follow him.
Hey, come on now. That song changed the landscape of music. Okay. Again, shout out Nina Simone. When he said he didn't come here to tap dance, he meant that. He meant that. Thank you, Ngoma, for bringing those stories back. My father fought in Vietnam, came home a very different person. So thank you for letting folks know what it was really like, right? Where the VC was wearing sandals made of tires, Firestone, right? I was with the brothers that resisted and stayed alive, right? Giving dap. Come on. People don't know about that, where it started. Come on, man. Like, you jump. Is this so-called constitution constitutional? The fox guarding the hen house, when did that crazy shit start happening, right? We need to wake up from this nightmare called the American dream. Justice and laws are two different conversations, right? Because they're sodomizing the whole world. They thought taking a knee was about the flag, but it was not. Secret pedophile wing in the Vatican. What would Jesus say? Ooh. We suffer from a lack of knowledge. Indeed, we do. Which is, again, our charge as poets to ensure that the truth remains. All right, y'all. Thank you, Baba, for all that you do for poetry and everyone who hears your words and feels your energy. You are a gift to not only our community, but this world. Make sure you are plugging in with Ngoma and all they do. Again, didn't come here to tap dance. Make sure you get it. It's incredible. All right. We have reached the end of the night, y'all. To every poet who touched the mic from the opening, right? Deadpan and Marianne, to Baba and Ngoma, and everyone in between. I truly appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. Everybody who just came through to hang out. Listen, I apologize. You know, some folks got a little too comfortable in here, right? And we had to give them the boot, right? Like the Queen says, they got a little cute and they had to get the boot, right? My apologies to Mia Aguilera for having to deal with that madness, but we got you, all right? Listen, I love all of y'all. Again, this is the best night of the week. This is the greatest community in the world. I truly love each and every one of y'all for always bringing your incredible artistry to Monday night. Thank you. We'll end the night like this. Until we meet again, may this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Monday night with y'all. Until next week, peace.